let's jump into HLC. He's got a new video, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Let's just jump right in, shall we? Let's do this.
All of you, stop. This is ridiculous. Stop waving those flags and trying to cause division here in...
He's gonna talk about it. He's gonna talk about it. He's gonna talk about it. Oh my God, I'm so fucking wet right now. He's gonna talk about it. Oh, I have been waiting for Buff to go off on this. I have been waiting for this. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, HLC, please, don't do me dirty. Unleash the Buff on this, okay? Unleash the Buff.
In England, it's ridiculous. What are you talking about? Let's raise the Union Jack and show them exactly what the United Kingdom is capable of, laddie. That is counterproductive. All you Scots love to do is fight. Aye, we do be picking fights all the time. But
Yep.
on the other hand, Scotland!
What the heck is everybody all pissed off over there for? It's just some flags. I mean, come on, man. And besides, they all look like pride flags to me anyways.
The
Stop
problem
it, boss.
is, the individuals waving these flags have been tied to certain alt-right groups, and they're vandalizing things, and they think that it is the immigrants that are coming after their...
Okay. I hope to God that HLC in this video makes it clear that the flags that Beans on Toast are claiming that are tied to alt-right groups is their own national fucking flag. I really hope that's made clear, because that's the insane part of it, is that they are making the claims that that these people are claiming that their own national flag is tied to alt-right groups. Yeah, he said some of the groups are using them, and it's literally just people saying that are just being like patriotic and are saying that we don't want these immigrants with, these immigrants that are a part of grooming and rape gangs. And yeah, but yes. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, is they're claiming that these alt-right groups are using the national flag as propaganda. I really hope he makes that clear. Because it's bullshit, mind you. It's people that are saying we don't want these immigrant rape gangs and the immigrants that have zero desire to acclimate and assimilate into the culture to destroy the fucking country. And so, yes, they're proudly waving the St. George's flag saying, this is Great Britain. We love our country. We don't want it destroyed by immigrants, legal and illegal. And I hope to God he says this.
These flags have been tied to certain alt-right groups, and they're vandalizing things, and they think that it is the immigrants...
Vandalizing. Bear in mind, the vandalizing things is literally tying the flags with string to lampposts. That is what Britain is calling vandalizing. Tying the St. George's flags with string to lampposts. That's it. That is the quote-unquote vandalism that he is referring to.
After their English way of life. I mean, come on. You all got to be with me here. It's ridiculous. Let me ask all the people who have come into my country waving foreign flags in protest. Oh, that's right. I don't have that fucking problem. Poland's got a point. Assimilation is kind of the name of the game. I mean, for example, if I was like, hey, I want to become part of the United Kingdom, which is laughable in general, obviously I would have to give up like my Second Amendment, and then you guys are giving up a lot of, your First Amendment rights and pretty much every other right. I would have to assimilate to your culture, which that sounds awful. Don't forget the TV license. God, that'd be so fucking weird. Can you imagine, like, oh, I want to watch Judge Judy. Oh, my license is out of date. Let me head to the Department of Television. Go stand in line
Yeah.
for 3 hours. That's stupid. Kid's got
Very.
a point. Back me up on this, Canada.
Oh, times
yeah.
are changing here, bud. We kind of put out to our people that if somebody's going to do a home invasion, you might as well comply
Yeah.
with them because it's probably safer for you and everybody involved.
Yeah. This is a bone of contention with me. This, yeah, Canada's not doing well in this regard. Okay, so I will give you the reference. There was a man in Toronto, in Ontario. Okay, I will explain this. A wanted criminal busted into a man's home in Ontario. The homeowner beat the ever-living fuck out of this man. Oh, and by the way, the person that busted into the house had, I believe it came out that the person that busted into the house had like a crossbow. The wanted man that did the home invasion had like a crossbow or something. He had a weapon. The homeowner beat the ever-living fuck out of him. And the homeowner is the one that got arrested. The RCMP or the OPP, whichever law enforcement, they arrested the homeowner for kicking the shit out of the home invader who was wanted and had a weapon. And I think there was the chief of the Ontario Provincial Police is like, and this is not the first time they've done this shit, has said that if someone busts into your home, to just give them whatever they want and not to fight back. Yeah, trust me, I'm not happy with this. I think this is bullshit to the nth fucking degree. If someone comes into my home, they die. If someone tries to break into my home, they're dead. Kaibo, no. And that's why I think I have a suspicion that this wouldn't happen in the Atlantic provinces. I have a feel, like, bearing in mind, this is Ontario. This is the mainland. Ontario is one of the most prominent provinces in the country. They're a bunch of pussies over there. Ontario, they're a bunch of pussies. If they did this either in Eastern or Western Canada, yeah, the homeowners would beat the shit out of them. The cops, the RCMP would probably show up and laugh, and then take the bad guy to jail. This is, like, I've only heard about this kind of thing happening in Ontario. That should be clear. This is happening in Ontario and not like the Eastern and Western provinces, which are more, shall we say, country. Okay? So just be aware of that. Again, if this happened either in the Atlantic provinces or in the prairie provinces, like in Western Canada, outside of British Columbia, mind you, because British Columbia is fucking hellhole all on its own right now. The RCMP would not arrest the homeowners for beating the ever living shit out of someone that busts into their home. This is because Ontario is basically Ontario is basically Canada's version of California. Basically, like Ontario and British Columbia are kind of Canada's California in terms of, basically let the criminals just run roughshod over everything. Yeah, LaRook, you can back me up on this with BC. Yeah. So bearing in mind, I obviously it enrages me that the Ontario Provincial Police would do this, but this is primarily Ontario that's pulling this bullshit. You don't hear about this insanity happening outside of Ontario because Ontario is California 2.0, and everybody knows it. So just bear that in mind. It is not this is not encompassing all of Canada saying, oh yeah, just look, because the Ontario Provincial Police also about a year ago, I think, there was like a rash of automobile thefts in Ontario. And the chief of the Ontario, this is why this is like another black eye on the OPP. The chief of the OPP came out when there was a lot of auto theft happening and was telling homeowners, hang your keys up near the back door so that when the thieves kick down your door, your keys are right there for them to grab so they can steal your car instead of you defending your property and kicking the ever living fuck out of the thieves. So this is not the first time this has happened with this chief. How this chief still has a job is beyond me. Probably because the Ontario government is like, yeah, we agree with this. That's why I call Ontario California 2.0. So yeah, this is just bearing in mind for basically, you guys in chat know this, but for all of you out in YouTube land, they're about to try and dunk on Canada, saying Canada is shit because they're allowing the bad guys to do whatever they want, just like California. This is Ontario. You try this shit out in country land, i.e. the Atlantic provinces or the prairie states, you're either going to get the ever-living fuck beaten out of you, or you're going to get a bullet to the brain. Because yes, we do still have guns in the form of hunting rifles and shotguns. So yeah, this don't happen in the Atlantic provinces and the prairie provinces. Just bear that in mind. Not all of Canada is as insane as Ontario is.
Oh, okay. Wait for it. You mean comply like you did in World War I? You know, you threw the food to the Germans and then you threw grenades at them after you beat them in,
yeah.
right? Like that type of deal. Like you comply, and then when they're through the door, get them with the garrote.
Again, outside of Ontario, yes, absolutely. I've got a lovely carbon fiber, not carbon fiber, injection molded boken next to my bed that I will be happy to crack any intruder's skull open with. So yes, please try and bust into my place. See what that's gonna get you. It'll get you a polycarbonate practice sword up your fucking skull.
Yeah, no, dear bud. Just comply. You know, they just want your stuff. Most of the time.
What in the pansy-ass snow monkeys happened to you fuckers? Oh my god,
Yeah.
Your fall from grace is insane. You used to add shit to the Geneva checklist like every other goddamn day. Well, what happened, man? Is it contagious? Do we have to dig a channel between you and us? That's fucking weird, dude.
Just
I don't know how to deal
Ontario.
with this. Does that mean you're... Are you okay with home invasions? Like, is that just like, hey, let's be nice to the... What happened? Times change.
I have to keep repeating this because I know people in YouTube land are going to be just like throwing digs at me saying Canada's shit now. Again, it's Ontario. Outside of Ontario, this shit don't play. It's Ontario because the people in Ontario, the police and the governing bodies in Ontario are a bunch of fucking pussies and they're California 2.0. Unfortunately, same with BC. That's it. At this point, we are ready to unclaim BC and Ontario. Sorry, LaRook.
We got to change with them too. We got to make sure that, you know, some of these people are just not in their right mind.
Beck doesn't even want to be part of Canada anyway,
just for going into somebody else's house there.
Yeah, that's cool. So anyways, I started blasting.
Buff.
Yeah.
As much as you embody the American spirit, I genuinely feel like you're a little too excited about this.
Yeah, Vespasian, I'll get that to you. Ottawa 2. It's Ottawa 2. And all right, I will Vespasian, I will concede it's Toronto and not all of Ontario. I will concede your point to that it is Toronto and it is Ottawa because Ottawa is the seat of government for the country. I will concede that point too. My point about the Atlantic provinces and the prairie provinces not hesitating to beat the ever-living fuck out of any home invaders until they're left bleeding and bloody on the floor and they won't be arrested, I still stand by that. I do still stand by that.
The American spirit, I genuinely feel like you're a little too excited about this.
Honestly, at that point, my only fear is just going a little too far overboard. Like when the cops show up, like, okay, Mr. Buff, just a couple of questions. We understand that the individual is trying to get into your house, but they have 340 gunshot wounds. And I'd be like, well, yeah, I panicked. That's kind of when all my guns went click. So that's how that happened. And I'd be like, okay, next question. There's a fork sticking out of his eye. And I'd be like, well, yeah, he was still moving, And then I'd be like, okay, last question. He tested positive for a sexual assault kit. And that's when I'd go,
No, hold on. Wait a minute. Boss? Holy shit, boss. Jesus. What? Yeah, this vaccine, I think if you try a home invasion of Alberta, they're going to be going the Buff route. Maybe not without the sexual assault, because goddamn, Buff, what the fuck is wrong with you? What have you been smoking lately? But yes, this vaccine, agree. Try that shit in Alberta, and try that shit in the western, in the Atlantic provinces. Yeah, they go to the morgue. They don't go to jail, they go to the morgue. Exactly. And Cody, thank you for the gifted.
temporary insanity.
Ew.
For me, the hardest part during a home invasion is pretending I'm not excited.
Am I reading this
God.
correctly, America, that the cartels are now starting to use drones and IEDs? Yeah, I heard about that too.
Yeah, Andrea, I'm think we won't dig into this too much. Mostly it's been Alberta and of course Quebec. I haven't actually heard too much regarding Manitoba and Saskatchewan. It's primarily been Alberta. Yeah, they've been talking about it. I'm not sure if there's been too much headway in regards to it, but
Drones and IEDs? Yeah, I heard about that too. I don't know what it is with desert people, man. As soon as people in the desert start fighting, IEDs show up like Thanos. I am inevitable. A compass call flying over Mexico would do the funniest thing. You're not kidding. For those of you who didn't get that joke, Compass Call is an electronic warfare aircraft used by the United States military, and it's to combat IEDs and things like that. And what it does is as it flies over everything underneath it for a undisclosed amount of range, it completes the signal. It opens every garage door, it calls every cell phone, everything that has a wireless ability to transmit, it completes. So
interesting.
wireless IEDs are all set off simultaneously.
Shit.
I also hear that you have put out a contract for low-cost interceptors, America. $750,000 each. How is that low cost?
That's a weird way.
Sand Dune Special Ed. Regular interceptors cost several million apiece. That's why it's low cost. I'm pretty sure interceptor missiles? Okay, I'm reasonably sure that that interceptor missiles have a price. Is it 10 million? I was gonna say 5. I guess I lowballed it. Yeah, interceptor missiles
Tell
have
me you're
a
broke
price
without
tag of a
telling
couple
me you're
million.
broke, Tehran Timmy.
Nice one, Leo. That's a good one. I like that one. Yeah, these armaments are like several million apiece. So yeah, that is low cost, dumbass.
Way of telling the world you're a broke-ass bitch, Iran.
Well, while I did just award a $9 billion contract to Lockheed Martin so that they could build more interceptors, I'm looking for cheaper interceptors. And they're kind of expensive because, ultimately you're shooting a bullet with a bullet in the air, but since you can make low-cost, shitty missiles, I need a way to combat that. $750,000 is a whole lot cheaper than $5 to $10 million a shot.
Yep.
We
Bingo.
pay for missiles with money instead of goats and chai boys, which coincidentally are used the exact same way in your country.
Damn. But he's not wrong either, chat. Both ain't wrong. And Mr. Floridian, thank you for the follow, by the way.
Took a page out of your book, Uncle Sam. You know how you said that I couldn't use your weapons to fire into Russia? Yes, I'm here for the workaround. So the company that made my Flamingo missile has now started to test and potentially produce 2 ballistic missiles, one called the FP7, which has a max range of like 200 kilometers, max speed of like 1,500 meters a second, and the FP9, which has a max range of 800 kilometers and a max speed of 2,200 meters a second. You want the world to just believe that you're developing a hypersonic like me? It's not a hypersonic because it's not hypersonic in its terminal phase. Just like your Kinzel and everything else you say that is hypersonic. Just because it goes over 1.6 kilometers per second while it's at its apogee doesn't mean it does it in the terminal phase.
In other words,
Shut up, Slavic special ed.
had to be done. It's in the bylaws.
So I'm going off the American standard, which means it's not hypersonic, which means your shit is not hypersonic. I'm not following. It goes faster, make it hypersonic. I mean, so you say. What should be more concerning to you is, remember how I said maximum range of 800 kilometers? I'm going to get somebody good with numbers. Hey, F-35, do me a favor. How far is it from Kyiv to Moscow? From city center to city center, roughly 560-something kilometers. But edge of city to edge of city, you're looking at around 500.
Gotcha, bitch!
You are in range, gamer.
Huh, thank you. Is 800 more than 500, Russia? No, get me a piece of paper real quick. I write this down.
For
You know,
God's
Uncle
sake.
Sam called it a workaround, but I got a different around that you're going to give to Russia.
As much as I do love new technology, we could have peace between you two. And what, give up all my gains in Ukraine? Fuck no. I'm not giving up my land for that douche canoe. Okay, fine, fuck it, kill each other. All right, we'll move on. Google is opening a new department that instead of working defensively to combat hacking, they're going to start working offensively. And if they find somebody who's trying to do things to them, they're going to get them first.
Oh,
Interesting.
Finally, the dorks got my
Counter-hacking.
letters. Oh, shit, man, this cyber stuff is all confusing. The best defense is a good offense.
Hey?
Although they are using a whole lot less explosive than I specifically stated.
John,
Although, how are they going to use this? If they're gonna start proactively counter hacking, yeah, I mean this could be good. All right, let's keep hearing this.
John from Microsoft about to have a rough fucking day. Although it could be a lot worse. I agree with Grandpa Buff on this one. What are you doing? You know that brings so much money into my country? No! You scam my people and then you're in bed with 2 of the largest aggressor nations to the United States on the planet. How you're not an enemy, I'll never understand.
Well, sad, that was my concern. If they target the wrong person with the counter hacks, but let's go back to this again. All right, let's. I'm gonna start this over so I can, because I want to hear this again.
Google is opening a new department that instead of working defensively to combat hacking, they're going to start working offensively. And if they find somebody who's trying to do things to them, they're going to get them first.
Ah, finally, the dorks got my letters. Oh, shit, man, this cyber stuff is all confusing. The best defense is a good offense. Although they are using a whole lot less explosive than I specifically stated.
John from Microsoft about to have a rough fucking day. Although it could be a lot worse. I agree with Grandpa Buff on this one.
Okay, so the problem with this bit is that the scammers, the Indian scammers, are actually hacking. This is the problem. Indian scammers are not actually hacking. And based on what HLC said, is they're going to be proactively counter hacking. And what the Indian scammers do is they basically buy customer phone numbers. They receive phone numbers. Yeah, they're doing phishing, not hacking. And now, if Google is going to go after the phishing scammers, okay, that's fine. But in terms of the scam call centers, in terms of scam call centers, they are not hacking. There's some phishing stuff, and they actually receive lists of phone numbers, and they proactively call unaware people and pretend to be from a legit company, and they scam them out of money, but they're not hacking to do that. They're just tricking them verbally. Now, I do not doubt that there are a lot of hackers in India. I'm not discounting that slightly. The reference here, though, is the scam call centers. And the scam call centers are not necessarily hacking. So now, whether or not Google is including targeting phishing scams as a part of the hacking, that's a whole different story. If Google is planning on targeting the phishing scams and going after them, I'm okay. I'm cool with that. But if they're not, if they're just looking at basically doing active counter hacking, then they're not going to hit these scam call centers like in Kolkata that Scam Baiter and all the rest of those channels basically make their money off of with their channel. It's not the same thing.
What are you doing? You know that brings so much money into my country. No! You scam my people, and then you're in bed with two of the largest aggressor nations to the United States on the planet. How you're not an enemy, I'll never understand. Pharmaceutical industry. Follow the fucking money.
It's funny when you said that they were in bed with the enemy. I kind of had a mental image there, and I was like, man, that must be a big bed because Xi Jinping, he's a stout motherfucker. But then,
Hey, what is with Buff today? Guff, do you have some kind of a war boner that you are desperate for a war pussy to shove it into or something? I have not heard Buff get this randy in a while. He's like, who gave Buff some little blue pills? Who loaded up the little blue bombs up his pooper chute? Like, seriously. What the hell's going on with him today?
and I thought, I wonder if Putin just sleeps at the foot of the bed like the manlet he is.
Well, I guess that about wraps this episode up, don't you think, guys?
Wrong. You're forgetting.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to say elephant in the room because the kid will make another fucking joke about him hanging out with elephants.
No. I'm meeting with the squirrels today for the Hanger Peace Accords.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. The drug boat out of Venezuela. Oh, man.
Uh-huh.
As of right now, we have no idea what type of munition was used on the drug boat. But I have a bit of a hot take, and it's good comedic timing, so I'm going to run it. And I do genuinely believe that it could have been used. Roll it. Row, row, row your boat gently across the ocean to give Americans drugs. Merrily, 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 merrily.
Okay.
Coming. Did you really use a laser on a fucking boat?
Hello, this is Scott from Dodge calling you about your extended warranty. I'm also Mike from Sony Tech Support Team.
Oh my god, I gotta see that again! Oh, I've gotta see this again! Oh my god, he literally had him! Oh, I have to see this again!
The ocean to give Americans drugs. Merrily, 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 merrily. Coming. Coming.
I would have also allowed.
This is Sparta!
Do you really use a laser on a fucking boat? I mean, I watched the video frame by frame, and unless they cut something out of there, you don't see an object close with the boat like you would with a regular round or a missile. Plus, you don't really see any splashes around the boat like you would from the fragmentation of the delivery system. If you targeted some of the gas cans on board, it makes sense. Plus, it's good field testing. How can you even be sure that those were drug runners and not just people looking for a better life? Not only do I know, but I'm relatively sure. Plus, that boat touched the water that my boats are in. So if you infer enough there,
I'll suck.
it's pretty much equal to touching my boats.
There is something that he didn't bring up is, like, I haven't seen the video footage. I don't know too much about it. For those of you in chat that have, is it also possible that it could have been a torpedo? Is it possible that a sub torpedoed the boat, not simply just the laser? Now? Okay. I was just curious, like, just, again, I haven't seen the video footage, so I haven't seen the explosion. So that's why I'm curious. Okay, so definitely not a torpedo. Okay. Good times. So the U.S. used my laser. Nothing.
My boats. The looseness of your rules of engagement I find concerning.
I find your lack of spine and overall bitchness concerning, but don't care what you think. Bad guys are dead, good guys win. All right, fuck you. End of story.
Oh, yes. Absolutely base fucking ending. Oh, that was glorious.